Ah, yes. The long, splendid tradition of the Disney family. Their stories define triumph, perseverance, the belief in oneself, and the virtue of never giving up your dream. Even if your dream involves eating part of your dressing room door. Yes, our newest family member really has shaken things up around here, but he's no overnight sensation, you know. Not by a long shot. He's been trying to break into Disney movies for years. At first, we didn't even know he was there. But he was. Snuck onto the set and fell in love with the movie business. The camera adored him. But the dwarf roles had already been filled, and he just couldn't pull off the whole woodland creature look. So we found him a job in the prop department, where he worked as a prop. For someone with so much energy, he can really do wooden well. So well, in fact, that he scored a job as an extra on the set of Peter Pan. Unfortunately, when he was shown the ropes, he not only scaled them, he ate them. I still don't see what the big deal was. It could have happened to anyone in need of a little light snack. He didn't make the final cut. Undaunted, however, he promptly found himself another tasty gig as a standout stand-in. The film's leading lady got a little hot under the flea collar. She had him thrown off the set. But defeat was alien to this alien. He defied the odds, not to mention studio security, and found his way onto the sets of some of our company's most distinguished productions. He could play silent and steely when need be. Cute and cuddly when called for. His guitar riffs were the talk of the jungle. And let's face it, no one does fierce like he does fierce. Yet, off the set, he was always sensitive and giving. His perseverance finally won the hearts of our casting department. So when a rising young ingenue needed help with her lines, he was right there to provide moral support and a little lunch. It was only a matter of time before Mulan kicked his career into high gear. He shared his martial arts skills with the cast, and the rest is film history. Our hero finally got a movie of his very own, and in so doing, earned a lasting place in Disney's dazzling pantheon of stars. We're all so very, very proud.
This is Stitch's trial. It represents the last version of our opening sequence before we changed it for the final version. And it has Stitch as a genetic creation, which was one of the big changes in the storyline, but it doesn't have Jumba on trial with him. And we thought that we needed to have the creator present to take some accountability for the creation of the monster. Before, we used to introduce him when we got to Jumba's jail cell as the creator, but we thought it was much more concise and much more informative to have Jumba there in the opening sequence. So here's Stitch, along with some video clips of the damage that he's been wreaking on alien planets.
Prepare yourselves. 3 months ago, an unauthorized military experiment was uncovered in which a creature was modified at the genetic level. Open it. He is called Experiment 626. Thoroughly unpleasant. His recent attack on the peaceful populace of the planet Listog is a mere addition to the nauseating list of mischief and hooliganism that has earned him the prestigious title of Public Nuisance Number 1. Experiment 626. You've given no indication that you are anything but dangerous. But I can give you this one chance. Show us that there is something inside you that is good.
Answer her, you piece of garbage!
Mira nella crista!
So naughty! I hereby sentence you to life imprisonment on a maximum security asteroid. Captain Gantu, take him away.
With pleasure.
What you're about to see is the bedtime sequence the way that it was originally written. It's a bit of a twist on the bedtime story, so that in our version, Lila's going to tell her story to Nani. Lila's going to be making an apology for her bad behavior, but she's also going to make a subtle reference to her dead mother when she starts talking about a princess. It's kind of her way of explaining why she's being bad. We had to change it not because it was unsuccessful, but because in an early test screening, we had a lot of people that were confused. They thought that it was actually Lilo and her mom yelling at each other. So we had to rewrite it. If you go back and watch the new version, after you see this original version, you'll notice they make many, many references to each other being sisters. And that's what we had to get across in the new version. Enjoy.
Hey, I brought you some pizza in case you were hungry. I'll just put it here in case you...
Are you ready for my bedtime story? Once upon a time, there was a bear, and his name was Toaster. He was friendly, but he smelled bad. Not even skunks would let him visit, because they could not stand his bad smell. Toaster cried, because his only friends were rocks and fish. One day, a princess heard him crying and decided to bring him special soap so he could have friends again. But she lives far away now, and Toaster doesn't have his soap yet, so he still smells bad. He's so sorry he smells bad. Did you call the rabbit store yet?
Yeah. They said I could get 20 rabbits if I traded you.
I'm worth 20 rabbits? You didn't call the rabbit store. Oh, my camera's full again. Aren't they beautiful?
In this sequence, the Grand Councilwoman is having to answer to the entire council for her decision to let Stitch live. Of course, he escaped, and she blames Captain Gantu for this, but she's kind of on the hot seat, and she has to defend her decision for having let the thing live. Captain Gantu comes in, he interrupts, and she is quick to lay blame on him. So it's really there in support of Captain Gantu's drive to go back and capture Stitch.
Explain yourself!
It was a calculated measure to protect the Earth from the irreversible effects of aggressive military force.
So you sent the convicted criminal to do the job?
Jumba Jukiba is the only one who possesses the necessary insight to track and capture Experiment 626.
Jamba can't be trusted. He would never even reveal what 626 is.
He is a weapon.
The
Experiment 626 was an attempt to create a perfect fighting machine. These documents contain the proof. Grant me authorization and I will capture 626 so that...
Capture him? You couldn't even transport him! Experiment 626 is more than you can handle, Captain Gantu. Leave these chambers at once.
Turn